Today is 20th of April 2023. Yesterday we talked about 5 kinds of piti, rapture, joy that arise due to the development of the insight knowledge. The insight knowledge into arising and the passing away. We talk 5 kinds of piti. We talk about the serenity, the tranquility that develops at that stage. And we talk about the sukha, the bliss, mental bliss or mental comfort or the mental happiness, which is far more better than the sensuous happiness or the holy happiness. So yesterday we talked about piti, the rapture, passaddhi, the serenity, tranquility, and sukha, mental happiness. Yesterday when I talked about the serenity, the tranquility of the mind, I said the mind becomes so cool, calm, body becomes so light, body becomes so soft, gentle, tender, mind becomes so malleable. There is no fatigue, no exhaustion, no tiring feeling, mental sickness is not there, and mind is so straightforward. So at that time, one thing I forgot to mention is the body also becomes so cool and calm, body also becomes light, body also becomes soft, tender, very smooth, body also becomes so flexible, and body also become free from the tiredness, exhaustion, fatigue, because the physicalities at this moment, in present moment, arising in our body is due to the mind. They are mostly developing, generating due to the mind. So hence, when the mind becomes so light, so soft, cool, so tender, so smooth, and so on, similarly body also becomes cool, calm, light, smooth, tender, as similarly to mind. It becomes very light, no fatigue, no tiring. And again, yesterday we talked about the hiri and ottappa, moral shame and moral fear. Then after we talk about some of the vipassana knowledges. So I would like to remind the yogis is, when we are practicing meditation, it is not necessary to discriminate or to know that what kind of rapture is arising. Yesterday I only mentioned to know, to reveal you that there are 5 kinds of rapture. But while practicing, it is not important to discriminate which kind of rapture is arising, whether it is the first one, second one, or the third one, or the fourth, or the fifth. Because today, 2-3 yogis mention in interview, they report like that. It is not important to know which rapture is arising. When piti is there, piti also become an object to be noted. If piti is there, we have to note as piti, rapture. If the serenity of the mind, tranquility is there, that is also object to be noted. If the mental bliss, mental happiness is there, that is also the object to be noted. Not to delight. If we keep delighting, if we keep enjoying at that time, then we stop. We cannot move forward because our goal is our goal is yet to approach. Our goal is yet to arrive. This is not our goal. The piti that develops during this stage, we are not practicing just for this. We are not just practicing to get this happiness, to this rapture, to this serenity and tranquility. We are practicing to attain the path and fruition knowledge, or we are practicing to be free from all kind of suffering. So we should not remain stuck here. What we need to do is, if rapture is there, just to note. Immediately we have to note. If serenity is there, we have to note immediately. If mental happiness is there, we have to note immediately. They are also the object to be noted. Again, yesterday I talked about the different kind of insight knowledge, vipassana knowledge. While practicing, it is also not necessary to know that which level of the vipassana knowledge I am developing, whether I am developing the insight knowledge into the nama, discriminating knowledge into nama, rupa, physicality, mentality, whether I am developing the insight into cause, effect. In this way, it is not necessary to know which vipassana knowledge, which is insight knowledge I am developing. While practicing, it is not important to know. For example, urgently we are going to Dalat from Saigon. So while we are going to Dalat from Saigon, our destination is to arrive at Dalat. Urgently we have to arrive in Dalat. So while traveling, while going to Dalat, so it is not important to know which city I am arriving, which city I am approaching. You should not know, it is not important to know all the name of the cities that you are arriving or that you are approaching, because it is only urgent to get the Dalat. Similarly, urgently it is important to develop the path and fruition knowledge. Our goal is to attain, develop the path and fruition knowledge. So while we are trying our best to develop the path and fruition knowledge, it is not important to know that, which knowledge I am developing now. What is the name of this knowledge? What is the name of that knowledge? It is not important to know. So when we talk about the different knowledges, vipassana knowledges, it is about the theory. When we talk in the Dhammatak, it is for only general knowledge. This is only for general knowledge. It is not to think. It is not to contemplate while practicing meditation. It is not to compare with the meditation experience. You should just keep going on until you get your destination. We have to just keep practicing continuously. If we keep practicing continuously, vipassana knowledges will develop one after another, And when the Vipassana knowledge becomes mature, then finally automatically develops the path and fruition knowledge. The first path and fruition knowledge is the Sotapatti, Magga and Phala. The first path and fruition knowledge of the stream winner. So as a meditator develops this path and fruition knowledge, he attains the Nibbana, and he also uproots the skeptical doubt, the wrong view and the skeptical doubt. Not temporary dispelling, but it uproots. Now no more skeptical doubt. Completely uprooting the doubt and the skeptical doubt and the wrong view. So meditator, when attains this first path and fruition knowledge, he knows himself that, I have already uprooted completely the wrong view and the skeptical doubt. So at that time, meditator knows himself or herself. Where is he or she now? So a meditator who develops the first path and fruition knowledge, he uproots the wrong view and the skeptical doubt completely. At the same time, now his life becomes limited. Means maximum 7 life. Maximum 7 life, not more than 7 life. Within that 7 life, he or she will become Arhat, the complete noble one. And a Sotapanna will never reborn. A Sotapanna never reborn in the lower existence, joyful existence. The 4 joyful existence are hell, reborning on hell as a spirit, as an animal or the insects, and as a demons or devils. So these are the 4 lower existence. So a Sotapanna never reborns in lower existence. And he never breaks the 5 precepts. And I believe that you do know about the 5 precepts, but anyhow I will tell. First is not killing, not stealing, not doing the sexual misconduct, not lying, and not taking the intoxicants. So these 5 precepts. Our first noble one, the noble people never breaks these 5 precepts. So he or she always keep observing, always practicing these 5 precepts. That's why first path and fruition knowledge must be our minimum goal, the lowest goal. Yes, the highest goal and the ultimate goal is to be Arahanta and to be free from all kind of suffering. But at least, and the minimum, we must set the goal of attaining the first path and fruition knowledge in this very life. Hence our life will be secure, because we will not be reborn in lower existence anymore. If we were yet to be the first noble one, then our life is uncertain. Our life is uncertain means we can still reborn in lower existences and may suffer a lot. Because once we reborn in lower existence, it is hard, really hard, to reborn in good existence again, because in lower existence there is no chance to almost no chance to do the wholesome actions. Like as a human, we can do the wholesome action as doing dana, practicing morality, practicing meditation. Like now, we have so many opportunities to do wholesome this. But in lower existence, in hell, in asura, demons, in prey, in spirit, or hungry ghosts, or as animals or the insects, mostly no chance to do the wholesome. This means always unwholesomeness, always unwholesomeness. So it is really hard to get reborn in good existence again. So we must set our minimum goal in this very life to be a first noble one. Monks or nuns, ladies or boys, all have equal opportunity in this Buddha's teaching. There is no discrimination. Oh, because you are lay people so you have less opportunity. You are ordained, so you have more opportunity. Not like that. In Buddha's teaching, all have the equal opportunity to attain the path and fruition knowledge. Because we all have born as a human, and we all have come across to the Buddha Sasana. Buddha Sasana, Buddha's teachings are there, so we have opportunity to practice the Noble Eightfold Path. Noble Eightfold Path we can practice, or we can practice Vipassana meditation, which leads us to the Nibbana. This Vipassana meditation practice can be practiced only when the Buddha Sasana is there, when Buddha's teaching is there. After collapsing the Buddha Sasana, though we reborn as a human, there is no opportunity to practice other wholesome deeds like a dana, practicing sila, 5 precepts, 8 precepts, practicing samatha. Still can practice when Buddha Sasana is not there. But Vipassana meditation can be practiced only when Buddha Sasana is present. That's why we must feel grateful and feel lucky that we are having chance to practice the Vipassana meditation. We have born as a human, which is not also easy, which is also very difficult to born as a human, and coming across to the Buddha Sasana is more difficult to reborn when the Buddha Sasana is alive, Buddha's teaching is alive. So both opportunities are there, so we should try our best. Buddha's teachings means sila training, samadhi training, and panya training. The main 3 practice or the training or the teaching of the Buddha is 3 in kind: sila, morality; samadhi, concentration; and wisdom, panya. That is what we are practicing. That is what we are training. By practicing sila, whether it is 5 precepts, here especially we are practicing 8 precepts. By practicing 5 or the 8 precepts, we dispel the first kilesa, that is transgressive kilesa. Pali it is called Vitikkama kilesa. Vitikkama kilesas are those kilesas which manifest by bodily action and the verbal action. Means when we are doing wrong or when we are doing misdeeds bodily, like killing, stealing, sexual misconduct, or taking intoxicants, when we are performing the unwholesome actions bodily, that is the manifestation of Vitikkama kilesas. When we are speaking, when we are lying, when we are slandering, when we are speaking the harsh speech or insulting others, at that time also Vitikkama kilesa is present, or because of the Vitikkama kilesa, the transgressive kilesa, which is the worst one, the worst kilesa, we can say worst, the baddest kilesa. Because of that kilesa, we do wrong deeds by body and by speech. So the Vitikkama kilesas means those kilesas which manifest as bodily wrong action and the verbal wrong actions. So here we are practicing sila. We are refraining the all bodily and the verbal wrong deeds. We are refraining. So we are removing or dispelling the Vitikkama kilesas. So we can dispel the Vitikkama kilesa by practicing sila training, by practicing morality. The second kilesa is the pariyuttana kilesa. Pariyuttana kilesa manifests in our mind, bodily, verbally. Let's say we are not doing anything wrong, but anger is there in mind, the greed is there, proud is there, envy, jealous is there. We are wanting to we are wanting to take other belongings, we are wanting to torture other, wanting to kill other, wanting to do sexual misconduct. Bodily, verbally we are doing not wrong, but mentally still those kilesas are arising. So to dispel those kilesas, sila is not enough. Sila cannot do, morality cannot do anything for the pariyuttana, second kilesa, which is arising, which is manifesting as thinking, thoughts, planning to do the wrong things. So what we need is, we need concentration training. Only concentration training can subside, dispel or dominate the second type of kilesa. Here we are practicing concentration practice. So that's why by development of the concentration, we are trying to dispel, dominate the second type of kilesa, that is pariyuttana kilesa, obsessive kilesa in English. And the third one is anusaya kilesa. Anusaya kilesa means the latent kilesas. The latent kilesas which we can see at this moment, but when the relevant cause strikes, it arises. When a relevant cause strikes, then it arises. That kind of kilesa is there. So that kind of kilesa can be removed or dominated only by the vipassana knowledge, not other knowledge, only the knowledge that developed by practicing vipassana. We can remove, we can dominate. So that is why we are practicing here Vipassana meditation in order to develop Vipassana knowledge. And by development of the Vipassana knowledge, we are trying to remove, dominate that third kind of kilesa, anusaya kilesa or latent kilesa. The anusaya kilesas are those kilesas from the unknown beginning of our life. We don't know when our life is started. What is the beginning of our life? Where was our beginning? Where is the origination? We don't know. From that unknown beginning of the life, the anusaya kilesas are residing, or let's say piling up. So each and every life we have developed many kilesas. So we are piling up the kilesas in our mind. So it's residing, these kilesa, anusaya kilesa is residing in our mind. So it's there when relevant cause, condition strikes, then it arises. So that is anusaya kilesa. To understand about these three kinds of kilesas, there are two examples given. The first one is, so imagine a criminal is sleeping. So he wakes up, then he starts to do crime. So three conditions. One is sleeping, second is the waking up, and the third is doing crime. So the sleeping condition is like a anusaya kilesa. So criminal sleeping, anusaya kilesa sleeping in our mind. As anusaya kilesas wakes up, then that is kilesas are transgressing or manifesting in our mind, wanting this and that, anger, sadness, envy, jealous, and so on. When it becomes more strong, then we commit bodily, verbally. We start to do crimes like a criminal. We start to do bad things. So this is the first example given. The sleeping situation of the criminal is like a anusaya kilesa. The waking up condition and the situation state is like a pariyuttana kilesa. And when a criminal does crimes is the condition or the situation or the state of the vitikkama kilesa, transgressive kilesa. The second example is, you have seen the matchbox. So in matchstick there is a lump of sulfur. We cannot see fire in the matchstick or in the lump of sulfur. But when we strike with the matchbox, then fire starts. So means it proves that fire is there. Fire is there. That's why when we strike with the matchbox, so fire starts to come. So the fire on the matchstick, and the third is when that fire catch the things, this and that, and when it burns these and that things, so that is the third. So means the unseen fire on the lump of the sulfur is the anusaya kilesa. When we strike with the matchbox and the fire start on the matchstick is the pariyuttana kilesa. And burning this and that, the clothes or the house, burning everything, the fire which is burning everything is the vitikama kilesa. So similar with the striking with the matchbox, so the lump of sulfur, in lump of sulfur kilesa, the fire cannot be seen. Similarly in the mind, ordinary mind cannot see the anusaya kilesa, but it is there. And when the relieving cause strike, similarly when we strike the matchstick in the matchbox, the fire comes. So relieving cause is striking, the kilesas arise. It becomes pariyuttana, first in mind, anger, greed, jealous, and so on. Then when it becomes strong, uncontrollable, it manifests as bodily action and the verbal action. So it becomes transgressive. So to dominate these three kind of kilesa, so sila training is there, concentration training is there, and vipassana training. So transgressive kilesa, to dominate, the morality must be practiced, sila must be practiced. To dominate the pariyuttana, the obsessive kilesa, the samadhi must be practiced. And to dominate the third, anusaya kilesa, we must practice the vipassana. By practicing morality, we dominate the transgressive. By practicing samadhi, we dispel obsessive. And by practicing vipassana, development of vipassana knowledge, insight knowledge, we dominate. So when we develop the vipassana knowledge, it lessens. The vipassana knowledge is lessen or make fewer or smaller all the kilesas gradually. And finally, when it becomes very few, so vipassana knowledge is make the kilesas fewer and fewer, smaller and smaller. Means it lessens. It lessens the kilesas. And finally, the path and fruition knowledge uproots, completely uproots the kilesas. Lots of kilesas are there in our mind, many kilesas. So that is why the loss of kilesas having in our mind can be seen by practicing meditation. So that is why the practicing meditation, vipassana meditation, is like looking at the mirror. Looking at the mirror, every day we look at mirror to see our face. What kind of dirt is, or the dirt, what's wrong in our face. Every day we check, we see, we look, we watch. And when we see, when we see the dirt is or any damage in our face, what we do, we try to clean, because we want to be handsome, we want to be beautiful. Nobody wants to be cruel or ugly. So it is natural. So that's why we clean, immediately we clean by washing face. Nowadays we put lots of makeups or powders, creams, because we want to look good, handsome, beautiful. So similarly, by using the mindfulness mirror, we are trying to see how good, how bad is our mind. And definitely yogis come to see how good or how bad is one's mind. At the beginning of the practice, definitely yogis will see impurities. Lots of impurities are there. oh, uncountable number of kilesas, loss of greed, loss of anger. In daily life, he or she may think, oh, I have less kilesas, but by practicing meditation, oh, come to see many kilesas. And not only seeing the kilesas, but also comes to explore or to realize that, oh, because of these kilesas, I am suffering. So many sadness, so many sorrow, so many lamentations, so many mental discomfort, so many mental exhaustion, fatigue, tiring, means all the sufferings. Because of these kilesas, I am suffering. So that also yogis come to realize. Hence, the desire develops, oh, I must clean these impurities, otherwise I will remain suffering. Whole life I will remain suffering. So I must clean, not only this life, coming existence, coming lives also, I will suffer a lot. So I must clean these kilesas, because mentally the desire to be handsome and beautiful will be there. And the purifying, how to clean, how to remove the dirties or the impurities of the mind is by noting presently arising object. We are trying to do that while we are noting, developing mindfulness. That is how we purify. If anger is there, we note as anger. If greed is there, we note greed. We observe the presently arising object. And that is how we purify our mind. And by development of the mindfulness, as we just mentioned, concentration develops and we can remove those impurities. And especially when vipassana knowledge develops, then we can even remove the latent kind of kilesas. And as the defilements, impurities subsides, mind becomes so clean, so pure, so cultured, so bright, so white. So as a result, sometimes yogis come to see the bright lights. Yesterday I didn't mention when develop the knowledge into arising and the passing away. The bright light also becomes so obvious. It is because of the brightness of the mind. When mind becomes bright, clean, pure, as a result, yogis come to see bright lights. His body becomes shining, his face becomes shining. So that's why meditation practice is also can be mentioned as beautifying oneself. The best way to beautifying oneself is practicing meditation. We use makeups, we put makeups, cosmetics. That is not the real beautification. A man or a woman putting the makeup, using cosmetics, but if he or she is angry, how does he or she looks like? Beautiful or ugly? But without putting the makeup, if the mind is very clean, clear, bright, shining, then face also become very bright, very clean, very clear, shining face. So by knowing this is the best way to beautifying oneself. So may you be able to beautify oneself by practicing sila cosmetic, by practicing samadhi cosmetic, by practicing the vipassana meditation cosmetic. May you be able to beautify oneself, and may you be able by beautifying oneself, may you be able to develop the concentration, wisdom, and the mostly that we mentioned above, may you be able to develop the path and fruition knowledge in order to uproot the kilesas and to be free from sufferings.